What's up?
Hello.
How's it going, you guys?
Good. How are you?
I am good. A little hungover, but I'm good to go. Welcome to Sunday Fun Day with the Savages. Try to have these every Sunday, but a lot of bands keep canceling last minute and rescheduling. Thank you for not being one of those bands. No offense, guys. I love you all still. For anyone who doesn't know, of course, I'm Fran the Savage, Savage Ladies of Metal, and with me today I have Pittsburgh's Reign of Z.
Hello.
How you guys doing?
We're good. How are you?
I am good. I'm good. Just chilling at home. Trying to recuperate. Doing good though.
I do have to tell you, friend, you have like the best radio voice. Like you really do.
I hear that a lot. I get told that a lot. Everyone's like, "Why don't you get on the radio?" I'm like, I don't know. I do a lot. I don't know. But I also said I would never do a podcast and do interviews either.
And here we
Here
are.
I am.
Here we are.
Here I am. Yeah, it's just one of those voices, you know.
You do. I mean, obviously the exterior matches, but like I know everybody said they have a voice radio, but you have this like really sexy, like sultry, like raspy voice, and I just have to like address that with the class.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you. I contribute that to smoking for 30 years. I'm not really passing a good positive influence on that one, but I'm calling it out.
It's okay. We all got there some way, and that was
right,
just
one way or another. Yeah.
your secret.
Well, thank you. Appreciate that. So, you guys, I am very happy that you're here with me today. It's been a hell of a. I don't know how it's been for you guys, but I've been looking forward to this interview for some time.
Us too.
And a lot of people, like the stories. I actually met you last year.
Mm-hmm.
And that was at the memory of Bobby Cheney. We are at Freak's Place at Top Fuel Saloon in Braidwood, Illinois. And now, for a lot of people who don't know who Bobby Cheney is, he's from the Midwest. He was very well known, booking agent, worked for the Forge. I mean, just an amazing, amazing guy. And he passed away last year. And his little brother Jack, also a very good friend of mine, threw, a memorial show for him, basically. And you guys just actually happened to be on tour. And you guys were rolling through the area, and then somehow you found out about this show, and you guys had a chance to actually swing by and grab that mic and actually got to play. We had a couple of bands that canceled out that same day, which, really sucks. But, I mean, it does happen, and I understand that. And I'm trying to look something up here that I know I wrote down. But you guys grabbed the mic, and that was the first time I actually met you guys, and I was blown away.
Thank you. I love that. That makes me so
absolutely. And that's how I met you guys, and I was introduced to you guys. I'm like, who the hell is this?
Weirdo.
Yeah, funny story. We were just coming through the area, and we left our scrims in Sam's bus. And
tell her Sam from who, so we can just give him a plug.
Yeah, but we picked it up, and we were just sitting there, and they're like, "Hey, you guys, we don't have a show tomorrow." And they're like, "Well, do you guys want to play here tomorrow?" And we're like, "Yeah, why the heck not?"
Right.
It just happened to work
now.
that way.
Hold on. Now, when you say Sam, you were actually talking about Next to Eternity, Sam.
Yes.
Okay. Next to Eternity. I'm just saying, get back together. I'm just saying now that they had their shit going. Not my business. I understand that, but make it happen. Make it fucking happen.
We love
All right.
them. Super talented. We've had the pleasure of getting to know that camp. So yeah, we were pretty bummed out when
Brad actually filled in on drums for us for a small run.
Yeah. So he let us stay at his house when we were on tour. So we've got
that's awesome.
We have such an affinity for them, and I agree with you. I love those guys. I hope.
Yeah, it's a great band. I mean, they had a great sound. They killed it. It on stage.
Agreed.
They had, I know a lot of us here in the Midwest would love to see them get back together. So I'm just putting that one out there for anyone who hasn't heard of Next to Eternity. Even though they broke up, check them out. Maybe we can all start encouraging them to get their asses back together. Whatever it was, kiss and make up.
That's right.
So, but you guys were on tour with Modern Mimes.
Yes.
When you were coming through. Is that right?
Yes.
I actually had Modern Mimes on here a few weeks ago.
Oh, get out.
Yes, I love them to death. Absolutely love them. But So that's how I met you guys, and you had an amazing voice, and I knew I had, I was already contemplating the idea of podcasting. I wasn't sure if I wanted to do it yet, because believe it or not, I hate being on stage and I hate being on camera.
Really?
Yeah.
I hate being on camera too. We share that.
You know what? But I'm used to this because I don't see 50 faces or 300 faces looking at me. And last night, I'm going to drop this. There's only so many people. I know eventually this is going to be shared a million times. I did something I never did at one of my shows last night. I've never, ever done it. I grabbed the mic.
I love it.
Yeah, I had a tribute night last night. And Linkin Park tribute headliner. I grabbed the mic for their last song. And I sang with the band.
How'd you
So,
do?
yeah, nobody went live. You would think they'd take advantage of that. No, everyone recorded the shit. But so there is video out there that does exist, and I may or may not post it. I got to see how shitty I sound. So there might be a video going around of me actually grabbing the mic for the first time ever.
I'm so proud of you. That's awesome to like conquer, things that you say you're never going to do. I think that's awesome.
And I had to have about a dozen shots.
That's okay. You got
that. But I did it. And I don't know how the hell you guys do it like it's nothing. I really don't. So props to all you guys. I was a fucking ball of nerves. But I
still get nervous. That's how the contact thing developed for me.
What do you guys do? Okay, what do you guys do before you hit the stage? To calm your nerves or your anxiety. What do you guys do to take care of that?
I usually get out my exercise band, do some push-ups, things like that, just to get my blood flowing. I can't listen to anything before we play. So I just have my noise canceling in because like I'll go full and just be like, oh crap, what's our first song? This happened. Then I'm like 2 seconds in, as soon as everything comes in, it's like, okay, I'm good. But there's some days that, yeah, you have a big show and you just kind of have to focus yourself, and you got to find ways to do it. Used to be alcohol, but now.
Yeah.
See, that's how it is for me. That's how it was for me. I'm like, give me another shot.
2 or 3 mixed drinks. Yeah, let's go destroy my body for 45 minutes. But now it's more like, hey, let's stretch and do the healthy thing.
For me, I pace a lot. I feel bad because I pace almost like a lion or like a cheetah in a cage. Mm-hmm. And he's like, mm-hmm. And you see me backstage, and it's so funny because I'm usually just doing like a final check-in before I get on stage. But I pace a lot to kind of, get in that zone, and the contacts help because I can't see the audience, which is a blessing and a hindrance because usually when I get off stage, Brooke's like, get to the merch table. And then I'm like, I can't see anything to sell anybody anything.
See, and that's my problem too, is I don't like seeing faces on me like that. I'm not used to that, Yeah. And luckily and unluckily, our sound guy backed out 3 days before my show last night. And I'm like, it was a young kid that the venue just hired not too long ago. Go figure. No offense, guys, but this is why we aim older in the bar scene. I used to be a bartender and a GM, and this is why I never really hired young people, because you're not there. You're not really in work mode, But he got tickets to go see Lollapalooza, so he was blown off the show, and so we had literally 48 hours to find a sound guy, and we brought him in from out of state. So he's, I give him props. He had to literally crash learn the system. And to crash learn an advanced PA that's in a big venue, props. Okay. I give that guy credit. He did the best he could, and he didn't do bad at all, but he's not a lighting guy. And Blue was on almost the whole fucking night. And everyone who knows pictures, I do photography too. Blue and red lighting is a nightmare. It's a fucking nightmare. And when it just stays that way for hours, I can't give him too much shit, but oh my God, it was horrendous. But then when I got on stage, everyone's like, just don't look at anyone. It was perfect because I couldn't see a fucking thing anyway.
It came in your favor as much as it's a nightmare. So do that and then pair it with like contacts that impair your vision. That's like
Mm.
my journey.
Until you almost walk into a headstone.
Yeah, I've had a couple almost like oops accidents, you know, for sure. And Berg kind of has to like shift me and be like, go that way.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna start drawing squares on the floor.
I think that's fair.
Well, it definitely helped to not see the people. And then I found within like 10 seconds, I lost myself in the song and I just went off.
I love
Yeah.
that.
And a couple of people were like, "Are you sure you've never been up there?" I'm like, "I'm positive." But enough about me. We'll go on back to you. All right. So, Reign of Z. Let's talk about the name. How'd you come up with the name?
That is you.
I mean, years ago, whenever we first started this, people were saying, like, you know, build a project around her because of her talent, which is what we did. But this one here was like, I don't want my name in it. You know, like, we're a band, we're a collective. And we shot many ideas back and forth. And her mother said, "Oh, you should name the band after the dog." The dog's name was Rain. And so, me being the smartass that I am, I'm working in my chocolate factory, and I'm like, you know what? Why don't we call it Reign of Z? And everybody's like, we love it. I'm like, fair enough. It entitles of her going out and being the queen that she is and reigning over the lands. And we could play.
That's actually pretty cool.
You know,
and it started with the dog.
It started with the dog.
That's beautiful.
Because we threw so many names out there, and I was like, you know what? But you know, since she passed in November, like, you know, now we're just honoring her and moving forward. So, yeah, that's how
There's a lot of messages I missed here. Sometimes I get lost in the interview, and then I miss all the messages. We got Rock Rage Radio camping in on this interview.
Hi.
Jay Lambs Ramey, what's up? He's also a very strong affiliate of the Savage Ladies of Metal. And you know what? While I'm here, I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Today, we were actually going to announce tonight on his radio show, Circus of the Dark Radio, but we're here. He dropped the bomb earlier this week on the post for this. I have actually picked you guys to be the Savage Ladies of the Month, Savage Ladies of Metal Pick of the Month for Rock Rage Radio, Circus of the Dark Radio. You guys are my August pick of the month. So you guys are going to get blown up on Circus of the Dark with Jay. Jay is awesome. He's out of Houston, Texas. So this is, I mean, the Savages are connected east to west coast, all over the place. Jay's an awesome guy. It's a lot of fun. He's very trippy. And he has stood strong with the Savages. And every month, I pick one female-fronted band to get blown up on the East Coast and all over Rock Rage Radio, and you were my pick for August. So tonight he was going to announce it, and it just made sense. You are actually being interviewed tonight too, so that is cool. So you are going to be all over Rock Rage Radio, Circus of the Dark. So check that out tonight, you guys. Broadcast Central, 7 p.m. Central tonight.
I feel like Miss August.
I thought you were going to have a Sally.
You are Miss August. Actually, technically you are.
No, that's awesome. Thank you. It's so funny when people send me stuff like that. He like laughs at me, but I get like emotional about it. And he's just like, could you not?
It's in jest.
He's like, could you not? And I'm like, it's just so nice people think of me.
You have an amazing voice.
Thank you.
And Jay thought so too. When I sent him all your links, he's like, oh my God, fuck yeah. Yeah. And he is preparing for his show tonight. So he said he will be joining it. He'll check it out later, but he's going to be blowing this interview up too. I guarantee it. So
thank you.
Jay, thank you for everything you do also, man, for the music scene. We appreciate
Absolutely. You guys are important for sure.
Absolutely. So congratulations on that. I pick you. You are the one for the month. All right. So, beyond that, let me get back to I was sidetracked so easily.
I love it.
Also, that was an announcement that we did want to say anyway live. So, to let you know, you are the Savage pick of the month, and you're going to be all over Rock Rage Radio. So,
we love that. Thank
you
so
much.
Absolutely. So since last year, since I met you guys, I mean, you guys have been busy as hell. Your booking agent has blown me up quite a few times, looking for me to get you guys on a Savage stage. But every time he hits me up, I have nothing going on. Can't get a date for around the same time. It just wasn't happening. I'm like, just keep trying back. I'm like, they're going to be on stage. I promise you.
Absolutely. And we're planning on even more dates, you know, next year. We are in talks with some other bigger bands, you know, next year. So I'm hoping, we can make that happen. Berg has a specific goal for next year of how many days he wants to be on the road.
At least 120 plus next year.
I don't know how you guys do it, man. I mean, I love being away from home, but at some point,
Well, the only thing I miss is my dogs.
There's the doggies. That's about it.
Yeah. Who
There's
takes care of the dogs when you're gone?
Mom.
Yeah.
Mom's.
Or my dad. Yeah.
Mom's, dad's family.
Yeah.
They take care of them
Cousins, whoever.
until we can make, like, I call it that stupid money where we can bring them on tour with us. That's like the dream.
Within their own little section of the tour bus. Do you, dog? Do you, baby boy? Right?
That's right.
You have to have it really well ventilated for bulldogs because, their gas is
They're
ridiculous.
stinky.
So their gas on top of the natural gas of everyone in that bus and not showering for days. I can't imagine with the combination.
It's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. We're very fortunate. We are actually a very
Clean band.
hygienic band. I'm kind of a stickler where I have to shower every day because I think, and Fran, maybe you can resonate with this. I think as women, for us, it's so important to keep.
It is. It's a little
clean.
different.
Yeah,
I mean, everyone can get swamp ass, but we get a little bit more.
Yeah, we have a lot.
I'm calling that shit out. I'm sorry.
That's
we have to take extra care of ourselves. Yeah,
we do, and we deal with things that.
He's like, I'm out.
No, he knows.
You got to keep that ecosystem happy.
You got to keep the ecosystem happy. That's what we
Because
call
if
it.
she gets sick, then there's no tour. So
that's, I guess, my little diva thing.
Shout out to Planet Fitness for being open 24 hours and
truck stuff
and truck
Yeah.
stops. But Planet Fitness is a heck of a lot more economical.
Yeah, you're paying that $15, $20 entry fee, but it's worth it. It's just a nice hot shower.
$15 a month for a whole month. I'm out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. You can travel. You can go from each one from each location. That is true.
And if you have the black card, you get to take a guest. Only 2 people really need the black card. If there's 4 of you in a van.
And you got plenty of time to work out.
Yep.
We were, I mean, I'm kind of, I guess that's my 2 diva things.
Yeah,
Is
she wakes me up and says, honey, we're working out.
Yeah.
And I said, okay.
I have to work out at least 4 to 5 days a week on tour. It's more for like my brain than it is necessary. I mean, yes, of course, there's like physical benefits, but that's how I battle all of my, head stuff that I go through. Is like the gym is kind of like my church. It's kind of like my sanctuary.
Well, let's talk about your head stuff. Head stuff. Zasha.
Oh, okay. Let's talk about
your head stuff. I actually want to go down this route. And that was later on my questions, but now that you brought it up, I'll jump the gun on this one.
Sure, let's do it.
Who writes the music?
We all do.
You all do?
I'm me and Steve Sobchak, who is the producer of Ice Nine Kills, Outlier, and Motionless in White. I have to give him a little plug because he really is.
Absolutely. He represents some amazing bands too. Absolutely.
He does. I kind of give him my. I don't want to call it garbage because it's not, but I kind of give him my stuff, and I'm like, yes, he helps channel me because I'm very wordy, so he has to really help me chisel it down because I like to be very detail oriented.
No, I'm the same way. People hate getting texts from me. They're like, "You write novels, bitch. Just say what you got to say."
You're like, I just have a lot of feelings, It's
better to get it up and send somebody like 15 texts that are just like 3-word answers.
Yeah.
I'd rather get it out all at once so you understand it and I don't have to repeat myself and break it down 2, 3, 4 times. Just here, read it.
And I think that's why, Fran, it takes so long for us to have a single, because I tell people all the time, it's very autobiographical. Like bands a lot of times can just, put out content. Like mine is very deeply embedded into like my soul. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, here's what I've just been through. Here you go. You all can deal with that now. So
I'm sorry. Cody just put up some funny shit.
Isn't an interview without
it isn't an interview without the talk of Swamp Ass. You never know what you're going to get on the Savage
One of the greatest things ever invented was Gold Bonds, the gold spray. It really helped.
You're trying to creep in right now.
Oh yeah, she's really trying to creep
Just let
into
her come in. Just let her come in. She's gonna anyways. But yes, Cody, I agree. Oh, thank you. So basically, I think that's why it takes so long, for a single to come out. That and like, obviously like money. I think people don't realize like when you're in
it's expensive. Yeah.
Well, especially if you want to work with Berg and I want the best for people. And the way that I explain it is, you know, if you want that Louis Vuitton bag, I'm comparing my team to a Louis Vuitton bag, but just go with me on this journey. If you want that Louis Vuitton bag, you know, you got to save up and
Yeah.
you got to grind, you know, to get that bag. And that's how I feel about our team, from like the, you know, our producers to our music video guy to the guy who does our ads. I mean, we have the people who work, you know, with the best, and, you know, my feelings are in the industry, and they're not cheap. So
Right.
that's why we have to come back home and, you know, work our tails
I
off
mean,
to,
I was raised, put your best foot forward.
yeah, we just don't
Absolutely.
want to just
Absolutely.
produce stuff to just produce stuff. You
You're
know,
gonna
we
do
want,
something, do it right.
there you go.
Right.
Yeah.
Now you guys have one album out. It's your actual, it's your EP, your debut EP, and that was Mirrors or Memoirs.
Yeah.
That was actually a killer EP.
Thank you.
And you know, the songs on there, there's some powerful kind of songs. Like, it's, I mean, a lot of your music is about drama, trauma, and like a lot of torture and pain kind of thing, but in different aspects.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
Welcome
some
to my life.
crazy shit.
Yeah.
I mean, I love it. You know, your videos are very well done. Very, you know, it's just, your music is beautiful. Your sound is awesome. I just love your voice.
Thank you.
But like, I even wrote down examples that are all over the place. I'm gonna break it down here into just to name a few.
Yeah.
Reflections has definitely been one of my favorite videos. You know, you know, it's also from the EP. And now, were you in an insane asylum? That's what I was trying to figure out. I mean, what was that?
So once again, autobiographical. I was in a domestic abuse relationship. So to me, that's what domestic abuse looks like to me.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
The scenes that you're specifically referencing is, you know, when I woke up in the hospital bed,
Right.
and how you're just disoriented and you're
Right. And they were pinning you down, and like
Yeah.
that's why I was like, what exactly is going on with that one? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I like to be I also, with my music, like to be cryptic, because I want people to go on their own journey, and I want them to, you know, have it resonate with them, like what, you know, they feel. Like, I don't want to necessarily tell people like, this is what you need to feel when you listen to this.
Right. This is what
You
you feel.
Yes, this is just
Right.
was just my journey. And we
Right.
actually, the song in Wisconsin is actually being used
For a woman.
for a women's shelter for domestic abuse. So those are the things that get really, you know, become very rewarding to me.
Right. I think that was actually the first song I ever heard, because that's when I met you last year.
Yeah.
And that's when I started listening. And I think you actually played that when you were on the stage too.
Yeah.
And you know, it was definitely one of my favorite songs and one of my favorite, you know, better videos. And that's why I wanted to bring it up, because I wanted to ask exactly where the video was going with that. Ignite, another song that's about abusive relationships also, correct?
Well, Ignite is basically about a crappy ex. So
They're all crappy.
I know, like, I just went through a really bad, very public, what I mean, as far as like our little bubble where we live, breakup. And I needed to channel all this anger and hatred that I felt, because I really don't like to carry that with me in life. And he will tell you, like, as soon as I write the song, it's like, oh, it's just kind of,
You just go off.
it's just,
It writes itself, basically, right?
yeah, because
Yeah.
I wonder, how many times do you see online when people are like, oh, you know, my ex did this, and you just have all these, you know, very powerful negative emotions. And I said to him, the first line, it says Epstein, referring to Jeffrey Epstein. Epstein
Right.
has a twin in you. And I'm like,
Oh,
I
wow.
don't know what
Okay,
more
yeah, I get that. Yeah, that's a beautiful compliment.
I mean, and I think, you know, it gets the crowd going to where I'm like, how many people have a shitty ex? Everybody's like, yeah. And I'm like, well, this song's for you, because we all have the one breakup that has just changed and shaped us forever, you know?
Yeah. See, I'd be terrified to date a musician, especially, you know, I'd just be like, bitch, you ain't
No.
writing about me. If you do, I'm gonna make sure the song you write is gonna be epic as fuck.
Oh, I always joke whenever her and I started dating, and I said, "Yeah, my goal is to never have a song written about me." Yeah,
Right?
We're
Yeah,
good.
we're good.
Yeah, we're good.
Unless we need material, then I got to do some really fucked up shit.
You just gotta do something
Um,
crazy. Please don't do that. But yeah, like I said, everything's very autobiographical because I want to be able to connect with it and for you guys to connect with it.
Right. Well, it's definitely entertaining the way it should be. You know,
Thank
it's
you.
not just about the music and the lyrics. It's about the visual you are portraying for everyone to understand that video and song better. You know, and it's a great song. Another, let's see, what other one did I write down? No, that pretty much went back. That jumps to the next play. So, speaking of videos, as everyone knows, I love to do an extra little boost on promotions so everyone can get a taste of what you're about. And oh, my AC finally turned on. Sorry, I'm dying over here. I have the video Cellophane, and Cellophane is an amazing song. And again, this is one hell of a song video, and I'm gonna play it before we talk about it. You guys are game for that? You ready?
We're game.
All right, so give me a minute. Let me hide Rich here. Hi, Rich. Hi, Rich, by the way. All right, let's get this bad boy going. So I've been hearing that the audio quality has not been the greatest, and I think it might be because of YouTube. So I'm looking into getting better quality sound out of my screenplay. So everyone, I apologize, but bear with me. Let's get this going. So everybody, again, this is Reign of Z. This is their latest video from, I think it was last year, right?
Yeah.
Yep, called Cellophane. It's a very powerful video, and we're going to talk about this one.
Rip the duct tape, plan the escape. I'm confined. When I'm all but dead, I still make headlines in your mind, and I'm never far away. Can't suffocate me. Kill this pain that loves to hate me. We decay. We're self-defeating. Cut and run. 'Cause time is fleeting. And cellophane can't suffocate me now. Retribution must be drawing near. 'Cause power comes naturally to that which we all fear. You're never far away. Cellophane can't suffocate me. Kill this pain that loves to hate me. We decay. We're self-defeating. Cut and run. 'Cause time is fleeting. And cellophane can't suffocate me now. Don't
Boot stomp.
Dude, I love that video. I absolutely love that video.
Thank you.
Welcome to Malibu, where we do whatever tastes good.
I'm shutting up. Hold on. Oh, it's just moving on with the next music.
Moving along.
It's not pausing. Hold on a minute. It's just going on with the music. There's a sneak peek of another video.
Right?
Really, that's one we don't have a video for.
Yeah.
Right?
We
You know what? Girl, I love your voice. I love how you can belt it out and you can sing and then you just immediately turn around and just growl. I absolutely love that. I would sound like a breaking doornail if that's possible. I couldn't growl like that.
Some days I feel like I sound like that when I'm having like off days, Fran. So I can go with you on that journey for sure.
Yep, Steve and Cody. Oof. I'll catch up. Wait, Jay says, unfortunately, the promotion from Rock Rage for the radio show posting happens before this video could have aired. So inevitably, the band. Here, I'll just put it up. Everyone can read it. Let's see, it says, so inevitably, the band would have found out about them being. Oh, you're just calling me out. Okay, I see what you're doing.
Okay.
So, yeah. So, all right. So you can give all the credit to the Savage Ladies of Metal. Fran, she makes the pick of the band of the month, the female-fronted band that rocks each month. Fran picking some incredible jams.
Thanks, Fran.
Well, that's how I roll. And thank you, Jay, for doing everything you do, regardless, man, and explaining that in detail because I wasn't going to go that far. And Cody says, and then the gutturals, very nice. I rest my case, girl. You got some voice on you.
Thank you.
Now that is a very powerful video.
Yeah.
First and foremost, it's an awakening video. Also, ladies and gentlemen, get your face out of your phone when you're walking, especially at night, through courts and all kinds of shit. There, all the violence and all the crimes are not just in the city anymore. They are in the burbs. This is not the 1980s where everyone's like, "Oh, it's the city." No, it's here. It's here. It's everywhere. And everyone's so in tune with their damn phones. Shit like this does happen more often than it needs to. Because people are not aware of their surroundings. They're not paying attention. They care more about being pissed off at their boyfriend and writing crazy fucking music. But no, seriously. I mean, that was an amazing song, an amazing video.
Thank you.
There's a lot I want to say about this, but I'll get into that. So tell me about it. How'd that song come about?
So it's so funny. So a lot of people obviously thought it was about human trafficking, but believe it or not, this was a metaphor for growing pains. So when Berg and I started this band, and I think any band that's trying to grow and progress, I think has felt this in some aspect of, online hatred. And, they always say like, you climb to the top, your circle gets smaller. And unfortunately, when we started touring more and, touring with bigger bands, our circle started to dwindle. So that in correlation was kind of the birthing of Cellophane, like inadvertently.
Right.
So in a nutshell, just like seeing things online and, like being scared, just this constant like psychological torture. But we didn't want to be so blatant on the video. So that's kind
Hence
of
the
why.
suffocating part.
Yes. Because you
get
feel
that.
like
Okay. I get that. You're suffocating. Yeah.
because just all the horrible things that people say about you, and you can feel free to chime in.
Oh no, I'm just laughing at this one because
Well,
you put
she's-
her in one music video.
I
Is she
know.
passing gas? Is she ripping?
No,
No,
she thinks she's important now. But it's just about growing pains. But I like I said, I didn't want to be so blatant about the video. But once again, that's the beauty of what we do, is you can take away from it whatever you want.
Right.
We like to do things kind of cryptically because
And that's awesome. I love, you make people think, and that's the way, I love that. I love being kept on my toes. I love, I'm more of a suspense kind of female, like pay attention. What's next? Yeah. I'm one of those people where everyone wants to smack me in a suspenseful movie because I'll be like, dude, I could see this, this, and this, and people are like, but you're right more than half the time. They're like, you're twisted. I'm like, oh.
That's why she hates work.
you already have it figured out before the movie's done. So,
And then they tell me to shut up because
you're
me and
ready
him would just be like debating the whole movie, and you'd be like, I'm trying to watch this shit, but I'm writing them. I'm taking notes. That is
I love-
awesome. No, that is a great video. It's
Thank
definitely
you.
Cellophane is definitely one of my favorite videos. I mean, I really can't pick one. I love your voice. I love everything you guys do, and you guys definitely have my attention. And I'm going to be paying attention a lot more. And you guys, I wish nothing but the best for you guys. You guys got a lot of talent, and I'd love to see you keep going.
Thank you. We are, trust me, we're pushing. And like little plug, September 8th is the new video.
Yes, and that was what we're going to bring up. The new release is going to be Nothing Gold Can Stay.
Yes.
And this is actually a very sad song
It is
from what I was seeing. And you want to talk about it?
Yeah, I can. I can't promise you I'll keep it together, but I will.
No, I understand. Yeah.
You would think like after months, you would become numb to it, but you don't. So regardless of, this is a very interesting thing, and I have a backstory about this. So this song is sitting 50-50 with people because it's a different side of Reign of Z. And I don't.
Very different. Yeah, it is a 180. It is a 180.
It is. And in the days of social media, and once again, me just being me, and I have to write things that are real and authentic that are happening in my life.
Mm-hmm.
I could not write about my grief and what grief looks like to me. And, a lot of people, said like, oh, I wish you wouldn't have wrote it about your dog. And then and then some people were like, I wish it was a person. But once again, it goes back to, I just wanted to show people what grief looks like and feels like. And I know that we're going to gain people, but I know probably we're going to lose people. And that's okay.
I don't think you will. I don't think you will.
I hope you're right.
I think you are. Everyone's their worst critic. You are looking, and that's the thing. We have more demons in our own head than we really do out in reality, and we're always going to be fighting ourselves. It's good to see, and in my opinion, I think it's good to see all aspects of human nature. Like a lot of your music is based on pain, grief, and stuff like that, of different areas and different ranges. And now you're showing another side. There is still a soft side to life that can still bring tears to your eye. It's still grief. It's still another form of pain. It's just different. It's a different side of it. And I think it's awesome that you're showing it.
Well, thank you. And it's so funny because we have like a 20-day like TikTok thing that I'm going to take everybody on. But like Berg can attest, we have not played this music video for one person that has not cried. But to me, he calls me an emotional terrorist. But to me in 2020, I feel like that's so hard to do. I want to wake people up. And
right.
Especially in the TikTok scrolling era. I want people to watch this, and whether they hate it, they love it, or they start bawling. I did my job because I made you feel something in this social media, scrolling era, if you will. That was my job. But I felt with this song.
Well, it's something I'm looking forward to now. Okay, truth be told, I got a sneak peek. I haven't heard it yet though. And from what I understand, I am the first outside of everyone involved in recording it and getting it going that's going to get access to it. So thank you for that privilege. No, I cannot share it. Love you. So I'm looking forward to playing that. I'm going to check that out as I'm like taking off, because as soon as I'm done with here, I'm going to start running around like a madman as usual, getting ready for work, going to do this, going to do that.
Yeah.
But so now the release for that is going to be September 8th. And definitely looking forward to that. Let me know, tag me so I'm hit on it, because I might be at work. Who knows where the hell I'm going to be. But once I see it, it's a reminder. I'll start passing it out too. I'll start tagging everyone and check it out, including Jay Ramey with Rock Rage. Definitely going to give it to him because it is your month. So, actually, he already has the video link. He has not that one, but all your other ones. He's going to be playing everything. So, and I left 1 week open, and that's going to be it. So that's going to be saved for your new release. Looking forward to that. So everyone, keep your ears open for that again. It's going to be on the 8th. And even though it's going to be next month. Damn it. No, I can't play it for him. Shit. I just thought of that. It won't work out. All right. Well, maybe we can sneak one in. You know what? He can still play it. There's still bands a lot of female-fronted bands that he still does continue to play and keeps on his playlist because he loves them that much. I bet
Thank
you're going to be on that. Yeah, I don't doubt it. He loves my choice of music, so I don't doubt you'll be carried over for quite some time. Get that name out in the West Coast.
Love that.
Yes. So, just to bring, throwing this out there, the videos, I was going to bring up cellophane again, but we're past that. Let's see. Yeah, moving on. All right. I had like 5 questions regarding cellophane, but we jumped ahead, so I'll just keep moving with that.
I mean, we can always go back. That's the beauty. We can just play tennis.
We can. I'm just not used to moving backwards. Well, okay. You know what? Fine. I'm game. Because we can only talk so much about the video coming up. But just know it's gonna be September 8th. So everyone check it out again on Reign of Z. If you don't know, you better know them now, and I'm gonna help push that shit too. Can you imagine a situation like that actually happening to you? I mean, even though it was a metaphor in the video.
Well, Fran,
I think my inner psychotic would come out.
Well,
if somebody, like he released you and he finalized, releasing both of you, and then the dude woke up on the floor with a foot to the face, I would literally tell everyone, it's my turn. That motherfucker's turn. I would be like, pain, death would be too easy. You are gonna feel everything. I'm not gonna mind fuck you. You're gonna feel it too. The psycho would come out of me. I mean, I don't know. See, now knowing that was a metaphor, everything I was going to ask just kind of goes lost. It's like, what would you do in a situation like that?
Well, and I think, like, unfortunately, I haven't been in a situation to that extreme, but I have been stalked, and that's why I don't really disclose my location. I actually had a completely different location on my Facebook, which I caught a lot of heat from people, but I think, inadvertently, I've tried to tell people like I've legitimately low key, like this one will even attest, like literally at work, some guy obtained my phone number, started trying FaceTiming me and started watching all my stuff on Instagram. Like he can even attest like stories on tour, of a guy like trying to follow me to the van. So like, unfortunately, I don't know what it is necessarily about me, but like I've been in, not to that extreme, but in those situations. And I think that's why a lot of times I don't tell people where I live or necessarily like where we're going on tour immediately. Because, unfortunately, when you're in this world, people think they have access to you in a different way.
Yeah, and it sucks if somebody's stalking you, and I'm saying this from past experience myself, if they're stalking you and you are in the public eye, they know where to always find you. That becomes an issue. And, you can turn your location off your phone all you want, but in the end, they'll know where to go, and it's a very real thing, and it sucks that a lot of us women, have to go through. I know men do too, but it's just not as common. Doesn't mean it's any better. Doesn't make it, anything, not worth discussing. But for women, not all of us are fighters, and some guys, they don't care. They just see what they see, or they're obsessed. They're tweaked. I don't know. Maybe I'm going personal on this now a little bit, but I never walk anywhere. I don't even go to work without a weapon on me. I am always ready to go. Minimum. Always. If you're gonna attack me on the street, you better come with more than one person. That's all I know. Because I am not a small bitch, and I'm not going down gently. Screaming is the last thing you got to worry about from me. It's gonna be, it sucks, when you're in. It's very real, and in this day and age, it's becoming more and more common, and that's fucked up.
Fall away for a year, and people tend to
start to lose it a little bit, and that's why I always preach safety. Like I always tell people on tour, like he never lets me go anywhere on tour by myself. Somebody always comes to the bathroom with me. Like it's kind of funny. I always joke and be like, "Oh, I have my own security," but I would love to, because unfortunately we've had situations on tour with guys following me or try to
fans and
try to steal personal undergarments from. It's just very strange. And at the end of the day, it's just we do exactly what you do. We're all human beings. We just happen to, live in a van for a month or two. You know what I mean? So it's kind of wild in a way. It makes you kind of like tilt your head a little bit.
Right. I'm just saying your dog is adorable. I love his little
Yes,
situation.
Friend, don't
He's
feed her.
just hanging out, chilling. He's like,
There
I'm
you
here
go, man.
too. I'm here too, licking his lips. We see you, baby boy. We see you.
Oh, yeah.
She was the
Or she, I'm sorry.
no, that's okay. She was the belle of the ball in the music video, man. Everybody on set loved her, and one of the guys like, "Can I take her home?" I'm like, "She's expensive." So if you
Okay, now is she on your profile? Is she's or
she
you have a dog on your you have a dog on your profile?
yes. So if the dog is fawn, like lighter colored, that was Rain.
Okay, that was Rain. Okay.
That was Rain. And then this is Lola.
So you love your bulldogs.
We did well, it's so funny because he he didn't want her. And I kind
He's
of
looking the other way like I'm not listening.
and I kind of like forced
I had to
this.
put one of my pit bulls down on Christmas Eve 2 years ago.
Aw.
And my male pit, who is wandering the house right now, was very lost. And this one here is like, and here's a bulldog to make you happy. And I was like, okay. Meanwhile, this one, if you can't ride in a car, because she attacks she tries to attack the windshield wipers if they're on.
She head plants into the windshield.
No, she's tried.
She's tried.
She's knocked the car out of gear a couple times. Yeah, but yeah, that's why she got seatbelt holders now. But yeah, they're their own creatures. They have the most attitude I've ever seen in a dog in my entire life. She has to literally be in between, or at least
On him.
sitting on me or her at all times. We were driving to New York City to go film the new music video, and this one was sitting on her lap in the passenger seat, looking out the window like a tourist.
And you know what, friend, what made me so happy about that moment though? Everybody in New York is so hardened, but anybody who would pull up to the window and look over and look at her, they would all just smile. And that just made like my heart melt because I was just like, there's such a power of like animals, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Regardless of like dogs, cats, horse, whatever you're into. Like, I just think that was just such a cool moment, like such a hardened city. And everybody's like pulling up and they're all waving. And I just think that's just so, that's what I love.
Dogs are, it's a passion. Everyone loves dogs. They're very, I love cats too, but I just recently became allergic to them and it pisses me off.
He's a
But yeah, big dog lover. I'm a pit bull lover. Absolutely. I'm all about the pits. Absolutely.
Yeah, my 12-year-old, he's laying on the floor over there.
He doesn't do on camera, just this one.
Yeah.
It's all right. She's all game for it. She's like, yep, I'm good.
He's like, I'm beautiful.
Yeah. I love it. She's adorable.
Thank you.
So, so going back. See, I tell you, I get derailed very easily.
I
I see
love
puppers, So, random questions. Get to know you a little bit. Does being a musician run in your family? Is it something you were raised into?
Zero. I'm the only person in my family to do what we do. Everybody else is pretty much like, everybody played in like, high school or whatever, but to take it to the level that we've been striving towards, nobody. Not one so bit, My family's very much just workers, We run a chocolate factory here in our hometown, and that's pretty much what we do,
So when did your passion start?
Whenever I was 12 years old, and I was like, yeah, I want to play guitar. My parents bought me a really cheap guitar and said, you play it for 6 to 8 months, we'll upgrade it. If you get better, we'll upgrade it as long as you show passion. And they supported me. And they still continue to support me to this day. But they
Do they still buy you a new guitar every time you get better?
No, I think I'm past that point.
It's just gonna get expensive.
The ones I have now, I'm like, yeah, you go any higher, it's gonna get real expensive. But everything to be said, like they do support. It's like you get it as you start getting older, and what we do, like you get the questions, how much longer are you going to do this? I'm like, well, as long as people still want us to go play shows, I'm going to keep going.
Fuck yeah.
Yet they turn around and brag to their friends about the cool shit that we do.
I think it's hard, Fran, too, and maybe you've encountered this, like family and maybe close friends. Like if you're not in this world and you try to explain to them what you do, people just don't comprehend it, because I think for a lot of people, they're like, why don't you make money? And aren't you famous? Like, and
Girl, I got,
I'm like,
yeah. It's like they support you, but they're going to criticize you the whole fucking way.
well,
I'm
and
calling that out. Yeah.
as much as they can understand, but then the flip side is like, I don't understand engineering, so if
Right.
somebody were to come into a room and explain that, I would look at them probably with six heads. But I think, like, people who are closer to you are like, are you ever going to make money off of this?
Mhm.
Are you ever going to be able to support yourselves? And I think those are the two biggest things. And in 2023, that looks so different than the 1970s, 80s, even
Oh, yeah.
90s.
It's a very different world. And I tried to tell my parents that. I said, when growing up in the 60s and 70s, all you needed was one income. In the 80s and 90s, you needed two. Today in 2023, you need three, minimum four, and you're still considered poor by government aspects. You're still not making it. So it's like, no one's ever going to make money because society's going to keep us down. It is. They're going to have inflation. Oh, let's get minimum wage. Here's your minimum wage raise by 25 cents. Right? It's like, oh, yeah, thanks. That doesn't do shit, but, helps me scratch my ass going, now what,
Put a little bit of food in the fridge. That's
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah. So, and I think as a result of everything you just said, has affected the music,
Yeah.
industry. And we always go on tangents about that because Berg and I kind of, I don't want to say like to expose it, but we like to be very real about a lot of people on our level. Like, we all go to day jobs,
Yeah.
I think
Some have two. Some have
Right?
two.
and I think that blows people's minds. Like, we live very minimal because all of our money, what you just watched goes
Yeah.
into that,
Right?
so I think, and we hear all the time when Berg and I talk to our friends and higher ups, like a lot of these bigger bands are trust fund kids, or I'm not throwing shade, I always tell them they just won the genetic lottery,
They won the sperm award.
and I'm not throwing shade, or
Right.
people don't realize, like, you have to pay a lot into this field. And I think a lot of artists will not talk about that. And I think is when we start to talk about it, you might start to see it shift.
Right. I
Is
agree.
my hope, or my goal, at least.
Right. And that does make a difference, just like you said. There are bands, musicians who, they hit the DNA jackpot. They just were born into money, so they can crank out those videos a lot faster. They can crank a lot of things out faster and have the money for the better producers and everyone to get involved, to have their masters, have everything taken care of at a quicker level multiple times throughout the year. Some people do quarterly releases. I know bands that release like every 6 weeks. Some do it once or twice a year, because you can tell who's got the money and who actually has to bust their ass to make that happen. Because a lot of musicians are your average working class, a person, no different than me. We have to have two jobs, and we're still struggling, but we're still trying to make shit happen on a bigger level, because the music side is where we're trying to grow. And that's the side that we're suffering on, and our home life is suffering because we're pushing towards the other side.
Right.
And that's why, a lot of people don't understand. It's like, well, why don't they come out with more videos? This is why. This is a big chunk of it. It is because of money. It's not cheap. As the cost keeps going up to have the shit done, but you're still getting the same guarantees. You're still getting this, you're still working at that minimum rate, trying to get your name out there across the country. But everything else is going up, but they still expect bands to not make what they're worth.
Right.
Oh, trust me, if exposure bucks were cryptocurrency,
We'd be billionaires.
Right. It'd be nice. It'd be nice.
Yeah, well, that's why you got to go play that redneck 401k, the mega gajillions.
Yeah, I mean, that's all you can hope for. But I think, Fran, you nailed it. I think I call us, like, the bands that you've listed, like, we've been on tour with, like, the Almas, and oh god, everything's, like, of course, fleeting me as I'm trying to listen. But basically all the mid-level bands that were right there at the glass ceiling, and we're trying to, like, push through that. The working class bands, we just kind of need that next level push. And
And
unfortunately,
I'm the one on the other side of that glass ceiling trying to stomp it in while you're trying to. I'm just like, I'm trying to help you get there.
it's a push pull, and I think
Yeah.
the common like people in music, and I don't mean like in a negative regard, but the people who don't understand the music industry don't understand how much capital goes in to try to even try
Yeah.
to break that glass ceiling, if you will. So, because a lot of people are like, tour Europe. I'm like, sure. Do you want to fund it? I will love to come over there. You guys write the checks. We will come do
Right.
it. And that usually shuts them up really quickly because I think people just don't.
Yeah. They don't, yeah.
At Bergen, I lived in mansions, which
Yeah.
I thought was hilarious.
Yeah, let me go get in the Lambo.
Yeah, let me go get in my Subaru Crosstrek.
Right.
You know,
I'll be right there. I just tell people, no problem. I'll jump on my broomstick and click my heels. I'll be there.
I wish,
You know?
I wish that was the thing. I'd be right there with you, clicking my heels on my broomstick. I love that.
But no, it's a real thing. It is expensive, and it does take time. But then when you finally do it, you guys have been creating amazing work and amazing videos.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So, anything I can do to help, I'm in. Now, he was saying that now you grew up with a very supportive family. But your family was in music though, right?
No, I mean, they supported me exploring it, but, they, financially, they, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
they supported me, like, okay, you're going to go out, you're going to live out of a van. Okay, see you later. Come back safe. Okay. I mean,
Right.
I've been doing this for 20 years.
Mhm.
And, my mom's like, he'll be okay. I don't tell her any of the stories about things that happen on the road until after we get back.
Oh God, our parents will never know the truth about anything in our life.
I love
If
it.
they knew half the shit that would scare the shit out of them, they'd lock us in a room even at 30.
Yeah.
Be like, you go to the bathroom, you ain't coming out.
Yeah, some of the stories we share at dinner time whenever we get back from the road, they're like, that really happened,
Yes.
But
What about you, Zasha? How was your family?
My great grandmother was a professional opera singer.
Beautiful.
My grandmother was a pianist. My grandfather actually sang at his church. My mom sings. She never sang professionally, but my mom has a really pretty voice and she's a really good dancer. So I always joke with them and say, like, this is genetic. This is your fault.
Yeah, it's your fault. I'm leaving. It's your fault.
I'm sure they probably would have loved to have seen me more like on Broadway or probably more mainstream music. But unfortunately, the way that my life has progressed, and I did musical theater for years, and you want to talk about closed-minded and prejudiced and having every door slammed in your face, just go into musical theater. I just wanted to create something of my own. I just never felt like I belonged in it, if that makes any sense. I needed to,
Yeah.
I guess, write my own story.
It wasn't your place.
It wasn't my place.
I get it.
So
You had to find your own spot. They
absolutely,
opened the door for you, but you had to create your own path.
I had to create my own. And as far as financially,
Mhm.
my family's probably been financially way too supportive. And I would love to eventually be able to go to them and be like, look, I made money. I'm not there yet, though.
And then my family would be like, good. Yeah, that'd be my money. Pay it back. I'm broke again.
I'm right there with you. I mean, they've been very financially supportive. I mean, I would like to see the day where I can, return the favor to them, and trust me, that weighs heavy on me. And I think that's why him and I push so hard, because I would like to get to the point where I could be like, look, see,
Right.
poor, so.
And before they open their mouth, just throw a couple hundreds at them. Shut them up. And then they'd be like, but nope, shut up.
Stuff it in their mouth. Like,
It's a goal. It's my goal.
Quiet.
That's too fun. So just a couple more questions. I know we're at that point, but I want to still knock out a couple of questions, get to know how you guys process, how you guys think a little bit. Let's see, what are some good questions I have for you? Do you think that there's a link between ethics and music?
That's a good Do you want to answer?
No, you can answer that one.
Ethics and music. Yes and no. I mean, and let me ask you, Fran, just so I can ask or answer your question clear. Do you mean like ethically? Like, do you think there's ethical people in music? Is that what you're specifically asking?
It's however you want to perceive it, basically. But there's ethics in everything. Just like they say, everything is political. Same concept. No matter what the situation is, it's kind of the same thing. But ethics is a little next level. It's a little more of like what's ethical. Do you think ethics and music? Do you think there's a link between that, or do you think people define it separately?
What do you think?
I think it's up to anybody's own self-interpretation, really. I mean, what is expression? Expression's art. How far do you push that boundary? Well, in music, if you push the boundary and you're shaking that tree, you're going to get attention. But
At what cost?
at what cost sometimes?
I definitely like to shake the tree a lot, and he has to reel me in because I'm definitely an extremist where I'm like, let's do all this with like a burning village and like all this horrible shit. And he's like, let's just reel it in so it's a little bit digestible. You know what I mean? But I have to agree with him. I think it's definitely open to interpretation. I hate to be cryptic about it, but I'm not really sure how to answer that.
How about for your music personally? Would you consider it ethical?
Would you consider what you write ethical?
Absolutely,
it's
like
personal experience.
1,000%.
Yeah.
I lived it. I don't think there's
Right.
nothing truer than what you live. You know what
That's
I mean?
very true. Yeah.
It's your story.
Yeah, that's very true. So, if there was anything you could change in the industry, what would it be?
I got this one.
Go ahead.
Quit putting so much emphasis on likes.
Yeah.
Like, I cannot begin to tell you, as a touring musician, my biggest pet peeve. We've played with TikTok sensation bands. They don't draw at a venue. We have met bands that have spent hundreds of dollars to get their Spotify numbers up, their Facebook likes, and we're not throwing shade. Like, we understand the game, but it's not real, and it doesn't correlate asses in the seats, let alone good players. I have seen more local bands on a tour that put asses in the seats than big headliner bands that we've been on tour with. And that's not throwing shade at people. That's just deception of social media in the industry.
Right.
So
Yeah, that's true. I book shows, and I've seen that sometimes where the strong support and the supporters brought in more people than the headliners. It's like, well, it happens. It does happen.
I wish I could drill that also into record labels' brains, because I would love to see actual like scouts go out and just see a live band, because there's so many bands that we've had the privilege of sharing the stage with that will never have a shot in the dark because they don't have like the quote social media stuff, which I just think is it doesn't correlate to a live show. I mean, obviously there's exceptions, like in this moment, Ice Nine Kills, Metallica, of course.
Right.
But I'm saying like mid-level touring, even upper mid-level, like I hate that smoke and mirrors stuff. So
Yeah.
I don't know as a promoter, like, do you agree with that?
You know what? The likes can make and break you. It's a 50-50 on that. It can make and break you. A lot of people, everyone's just like, oh, well, this band, even, whether it's on TikTok, it doesn't matter what social media is. They'll say, oh, well, this TikTok, it can have 50,000 likes, but guess what? Everyone in the world is seeing that. So let's knock it down to the immediate area you want to put them on the stage at. Does that 50,000 likes matter now? No, it doesn't. Look, I look at it in different ways when I book a band. As everyone knows, I'm also a booking agent, and I do work with the WC Social in West Chicago. I'm partners with the owner. So, I mean, this is an awesome way also for me to meet bands, but I already met you. So I already know I plan on bringing you guys on stage. That's not a question. But, I tell you, it's when we look for local talent, the numbers do and don't matter. Yeah, every booking agent, I'm sorry, it's a realistic point of view. We do want bodies in that on the floor, okay, so to speak.
Right.
But you can't really consider all the likes to be realistic, because a lot of people will follow a band. They love the music. They just, God forbid, if they hit subscribe on your YouTube channel. God forbid if they hit like. You can have a band that has 2,000 likes on their page, but guess what? There's more like 10 to 15,000 who actually know exactly who they are and would go see them. They just don't hit likes. And so it's like, just like you said, I mean, one way or another, it's bullshit is what it is. It can make you and break you. It's a 50-50 thing, and it's, like I said, I've had headlining bands that drew less attention than the local bands, but a lot of people also don't want to go beyond what they like. A lot of people are very close-minded,
Sure.
and it's up to people like me and besides the bands to really pound shit in your head. And that's the only way we can do it. It's like, no, you need to give this band a chance. If you like this band, check this one out. Check this one out. We got to try to push that out there,
Well,
and that's something I try to do. And that's like, because I work for a venue, or not for, with, because I work with a venue, it limits what I can do. Because I'm at a venue, I can't do smaller shows to show that there's more talent in Chicago than what I'm putting out there. Because it's not my venue. I have to work with the days that are left and try to book. And then, God forbid if bands, especially bigger headliners, check their damn emails. Yeah, I'm saying it. All right, Messenger. And a lot of them do, and they say, "Oh yeah, we're interested," and then they'll get back to him and whatever. Just like you guys, we got to push on the venues, or on the artists, their booking agents. Like, hello, are we gonna do this? Are we gonna do this? Yeah. Okay, let's make it happen then. It's like we got to nag them just like you guys nag us. It's just a chain reaction. Don't feel bad. You got to do what you got to do. But because I can't do it on my own terms, a little bit more, there is so much talent in Chicago that need more attention, and I can't give it to them. So I've made a decision that I'm going to do what everyone's been waiting for. Go to Chicago. West Chicago is a suburb of Chicago. Big difference. It's about 45 minutes west. I'm going to bring the Savages to Chicago, and I am now on the lookout. I know everyone's seen this post that I put up a few days ago saying I'm on a lookout. And I had a venue that I had in mind that I actually reached out to a couple months ago and went to check it out. And the owner, I have his direct phone number. I have everything. He's not answering now. It's like, and then when they do, it's going to be like, too late, dude. Everybody moved on. It's like, there's no reason for you to take 2 months. I'm sorry. I have your phone directly. You chose to ignore my message. Emails, I can understand. Direct texts, it's a subliminal fuck you. I'm calling that out, and I'm okay with that, because you know what? I've got a few of those I put out too. I'm not calling, I'm going to call the kettle black on that shit. I do it too. We all do. But I want to be able to help the bands on another level, so I can bring in this. So like when you come back into it and your booking agent hits me up again and be like, Fram, I don't have to say, okay, let me find a huge headliner because I'm in a fucking, I'm in a venue. I don't have to find a huge headliner. I could bring the smaller bands to the city because the city can accommodate that. And then on a bigger level, and I can start doing things more on my terms and my rules with the shows. That's what I want. And that's how I want to help the bands, grow, because, there's not enough attention for the smaller bands. And that's why there's people like me out there to try to make that shit happen, and I'm always going to try to think of ways. So yeah, you're going to be on stage. I'm going to say, 2024, it's going to happen, girl. You're going to be on a Savage stage.
I love that. I mean, I'm the girl for August, so I have to go on the stage now.
You know what? And I'm a Leo, so see, this is going to happen. It's fate. It's fate. It's going to happen.
I love that. And I love what you're doing, because I think us working class touring bands, we need people like you in our corner. Because I always tell people, like Five Finger Death Punch, like all of them, they don't need your help. I mean, yes, bands need support, but I'm saying on the sense of like,
right,
us out here putting all of our hard-earned money, like we are the ones that need, you guys to come to the shows. We need
absolutely
to stay alive, basically.
Mm-mm.
So thank you for what you're doing.
Absolutely. Then I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing until I go insane. Well, I'm already there. But next level, when I'm stomping on people's faces and saying my turn, then it's done.
Right.
Well, you guys, I want to say thank you so much for being here. It was a lot of fun finally getting you on here, getting to know you a little bit. And what runs through your head, girl, you and I are a lot alike. I like it. I
do too. Thank you so much for, like I said, taking an interest in getting to know us. And, September 8th, we will tag you.
Yes.
Keep looking for the teasers, and, thank you for the positive feedback. We really appreciate it.
Absolutely. So everyone keep your ears and eyes peeled for their latest release and just in general because they are going on tour. They've been going on tour all over the East Coast and Midwest, and they're still going. They're still going. Keep your ear, just keep it open, and you can pay attention also from my page. I also will put up shit as I get it. You know, the more I'm tagged in things from bands all over the place, bands are starting to get it. They're gonna tag me because you know a lot of people send me flyers, send me links. I'm on it. I have no problem doing that. You know, I try to help you out as much as possible, and I'm looking forward to the new release.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
Fran.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for being on here, you guys. I will definitely talk to you very soon.
Okay, take care.
Take care. Oh, real quick, any messages for your fans?
Yeah, we just want to say thank you guys so much for being patient. We know that this release has taken a long time, but I hope once you guys see it, you will understand why this took so much time. And we cannot wait to see you back out on the road in the fall. So thank you again for everybody's patience. We appreciate it.
And what outlets can they find you on for any merch or anything that you got going on?
reignofzeke.com has links to everything. We have our store up. We also, Spotify, iTunes, Apple, everything. It's out there. If it's out there, we're on it.
There you go.
I have a farting bulldog and she's snoring on me. I don't know.
Yep. And Jay says, good work. It's worth the wait.
Thank you, Jay.
Yep. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. This was a great interview. You guys had a lot of fun. And we will definitely talk very soon.
Okay. Thanks, Fran.
Right. Love and respect, you guys.
You too.
Thank you, hon. I'll talk to you guys very soon.